Have you ever opened your eyes after a full 8 hours of sleep only to feel like you wrestled a bear all night? Your joints ache, your lower back is stiff, and there is a thick fog in your brain that even your morning coffee cannot seem to clear. You might be chalking this up to just getting older, quietly accepting that aches, pains, and exhaustion are simply the non-refundable price of admission for your golden years. But what if I told you that the real culprit isn't the number of candles on your birthday cake, but rather a tiny, seemingly innocent habit you engage in right before turning off your bedside lamp? We frequently hear the old adage that going to bed on an empty stomach is terrible for our sleep, leading millions of us to reach for a light, supposedly healthy snack before tucking in for the night. A banana, a small bowl of warm oatmeal, or a comforting glass of milk. These have been relentlessly marketed to us as the perfect, soothing, nighttime sleep aids. But here is the hidden physiological truth that most doctors simply do not have the time to explain during a rushed 15-minute clinical visit. When you eat these specific foods before bed, you are unknowingly triggering a massive midnight insulin spike. This spike acts like a heavy chemical padlock, completely shutting down your body's production of human growth hormone. This is your master repair hormone, the crucial chemical architect responsible for fixing your tissues, soothing your inflamed joints, and washing your brain of metabolic waste while you sleep. In our time together today, we are going to walk through exactly why this happens, and I will share a carefully curated list of dietary adjustments that will help you reclaim your body's natural healing power. By the time we finish our coffee chat today, you will know exactly how to eat in the evening to wake up feeling physically repaired, mentally energized, and ready to enjoy your independence to the absolute fullest. Before we dive into the fascinating science of how your body heals itself under the cover of darkness, consider subscribing to the Band Knowledge Vault. We share the kind of in-depth, science-backed senior health tips that are often completely overlooked by mainstream advice, unlocking the secrets to a longer, more vibrant, and pain-free life. I would also love to know exactly who I am talking to today, so please drop a quick comment down below and tell me, where are you watching from? It is always a profound joy to see our community spanning across the globe, united by a desire for better health. Let us start our journey by looking at a classic evening comfort food that generations of people swear by for a good night's rest. A warm, comforting bowl of oatmeal feels like a gentle hug for your stomach, but it is actually setting off a blaring biological alarm bell in your bloodstream. When you consume these complex carbohydrates late at night, your digestive system breaks them down into glucose, forcing your pancreas to release a surge of insulin to clear that sugar from your blood. A landmark study published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation found that high insulin levels directly suppress the pituitary gland's secretion of growth hormone by a staggering 70% during the critical first slow-wave sleep cycle. Imagine your blood vessels rusting like old metal pipes while the emergency plumber, your precious repair hormone, is locked entirely out of the house by the insulin guard. Instead of a bowl of oats, try swapping it for a small handful of macadamia nuts. These provide a highly satisfying crunch and a dose of healthy fats without moving the needle on your blood sugar, allowing your nightly repair processes to run completely uninterrupted. Moving right along, we have another incredibly common evening choice that seems flawlessly healthy on the surface. Reaching for a ripe banana or a crisp apple right before hitting the pillow is a habit deeply ingrained in us since early childhood. After all, fruit is completely natural and packed with essential vitamins, right? While that is absolutely true during the active, moving hours of your day, the concentrated fructose in fruit acts as a rapid-fire trigger for your blood sugar when you are completely sedentary at night. According to comprehensive research from the University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Campus, Dietary fructose consumed directly before sleep significantly delays the onset of the restorative REM cycle and diminishes overnight cellular autophagy, the magical process where your body cleans out damaged precancerous cells, by up to 40%. Picture your body as a busy corporate office building at night. Eating that banana is like throwing a loud, chaotic party in the main lobby, completely preventing the janitorial staff from doing their crucial deep cleaning. If you crave a touch of comfort and sweetness before bed, swap that piece of fruit for a warm cup of soothing chamomile tea with a tiny dash of pure stevia, giving you that relaxing ritual without the fructose-induced disruption. You might be thinking at this point that dairy is the much safer route, perhaps reaching for a nice cup of yogurt to settle your digestion and coat your stomach. A small serving of flavored yogurt is often heavily advertised as a gut-healing, calcium-rich nighttime treat for seniors. However, what completely flies under the radar is the staggering amount of hidden added sugars tucked safely away in those little plastic cups, often rivaling the sugar content of a standard chocolate candy bar. A revealing study featured in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition demonstrated that consuming dairy combined with added sugars in the late evening increases nocturnal insulin resistance by nearly 25% in older adults. Think of eating that sweet yogurt as pouring thick, sticky syrup straight into your car's engine right before attempting a long cross-country drive. It just gunks up the delicate machinery and prevents smooth, efficient operation. If you genuinely enjoy the creamy texture of yogurt at night, simply switch to a full-fat, plain Greek yogurt and sprinkle in a few chia seeds or crushed walnuts. This gives you the high-quality protein and structural healthy fats you need without the violent sugar-induced insulin crash. We are covering a lot of critical ground today, and I know that changing deeply rooted nighttime habits can feel a little overwhelming, especially when your joints are already aching and you just want some comfort. But please remember, every single small adjustment is a massive victory for your long-term health. If you are finding these biological insights helpful and they are making you rethink your evening routine, please take a brief second to give this video a thumbs up so we know to keep creating this kind of deep dive, empowering content just for you. Let us turn our attention to perhaps the oldest, most legendary sleep remedy in the book, the classic glass of warm milk. Our mothers and grandmothers gave this to us when we could not sleep, and the comforting warmth is undeniably relaxing to a stressed, overworked nervous system. But modern cow's milk contains a specific carbohydrate called lactose, which is milk sugar, alongside a specific whey protein that is highly, uniquely insulinogenic. Groundbreaking research conducted by the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that the true insulin index of milk is actually 4 times higher than its glycemic index, meaning it provokes a massive insulin spike completely disproportionate to its carbohydrate content, effectively paralyzing your human growth hormone production for hours into the night. It is exactly as if you are slamming your foot on the brakes and the gas pedal of your car at the exact same time. The engine roars, the system is stressed, but the healing journey goes absolutely nowhere. Instead of regular cow's milk, try gently heating a cup of unsweetened almond or coconut milk infused with a generous dash of cinnamon. The cinnamon actually helps stabilize your blood sugar while giving you that exact same cozy, nostalgic sensation. Sometimes, in a very noble effort to be proactive about age-related muscle loss, which is a very real, valid concern as we get older, we might reach for a heavily packaged protein bar while watching our favorite evening television show. These dense bars are wrapped in shiny labels screaming about health, vitality, endurance, and fitness. Yet, the vast majority of commercial protein bars on the grocery store shelves are bound together with synthetic tapioca syrups, harsh sugar alcohols, and high fructose corn syrup that masquerade brilliantly as health foods. A fascinating study out of the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health highlighted that ultra-processed snack bars consumed after dinner increased systemic inflammatory markers, specifically C-reactive protein, by roughly 18% the very next morning. Imagine paying a contractor to put a beautiful, fresh coat of paint over a living room wall that is actively crumbling from internal water damage. It looks fantastic on the package, but inside, your structural integrity is silently failing. A far superior, biologically appropriate alternative is to boil a couple of eggs and keep them ready in the fridge. A single hard-boiled egg offers perfect, highly bioavailable protein and essential healthy cholesterol that your brain actually desperately needs to repair its delicate neural pathways overnight, all without causing even a microscopic ripple in your resting insulin levels. Now, what about the modern health enthusiast's absolute favorite concoction, the freshly blended green smoothie? Blending up a mixture of raw spinach, fresh berries, and maybe some oat milk seems like the ultimate undeniable nutritional insurance policy before going to sleep. The hidden problem lies entirely in the mechanical breakdown of the food. By blending everything into a fine liquid, you completely destroy the protective, insoluble fiber matrix of the plants, meaning your stomach absorbs the natural liquid sugars almost instantaneously. Dedicated researchers at the Mayo Clinic have documented that drinking your calories, even when they come from whole fruits and vegetables, leads to a 90-minute prolonged insulin elevation compared to chewing those exact same whole foods, disastrously delaying the onset of your crucial deep sleep repair phase. Picture a massive, slow-release concrete dam suddenly bursting, flooding a quiet, sleepy valley with a violent rush of water. Your metabolic system is completely overwhelmed and has to scramble frantically to manage the flood instead of doing its quiet, nightly repairs. If you find yourself genuinely hungry late at night, opt for physically chewing a few raw, water-rich vegetables like celery sticks or cucumber slices dipped lightly in a tablespoon of natural, unsweetened almond butter. This forces your digestive system to work slowly and steadily, protecting your blood sugar. Finally, let us discuss the ultimate, classic diet food that many seniors understandably turn to because it feels incredibly light on a sensitive stomach: the humble puffed rice cake. Rice cakes have practically zero fat and very few calories, making them seem completely harmless and perfectly safe for a midnight snack. However, they are made of highly puffed, refined white rice that has been stripped of its bran and germ, giving them a glycemic index that is actually higher than eating pure white table sugar off a spoon. A pivotal, rigorously controlled trial published in the highly respected journal Diabetes Care proved that consuming high glycemic puffed grains in the evening causes an immediate, aggressive, hyperinsulinemic response, completely flatlining your overnight fat oxidation and suppressing your vital joint lubricating hormones by a shocking 32%. Eating a dry rice cake before bed is exactly like throwing a crumpled piece of dry newspaper onto a smoldering fire. It causes a massive, blinding flash of heat that completely vanishes in seconds, leaving you cold, unsatisfied, and ultimately craving more carbohydrates. Instead of reaching for empty, airy carbohydrates that trick your brain, try snacking on a small handful of rich, savory olives. They are packed with soothing oleic acid, are incredibly satisfying to the palate, and keep your insulin completely flat so your vital growth hormone can soar to its maximum potential. To pull all of this complex biology together into a simple truth, your body is a magnificent, resilient, self-healing machine. But it absolutely requires the correct biochemical environment to do its best work. When we intentionally eliminate the massive midnight insulin spikes caused by late-night oatmeal, sugary fruit, sweetened yogurt, traditional milk, processed protein bars, liquid smoothies, and puffed grains, we stop locking the heavy biological door on our body's midnight repair crew. By confidently making these simple, straightforward swaps to healthy, stabilizing fats and clean, quiet proteins like macadamia nuts, stevia-sweetened tea, plain Greek yogurt with chia seeds, warm almond milk, a simple hard-boiled egg, celery with almond butter, or a savory handful of olives, you step out of your own way. You allow your human growth hormone to wash profoundly over your aging brain, your tired joints, and your weary muscles while you rest deeply. You truly hold the immense power to change how you age, and that power is sitting right there in your kitchen. You absolutely do not have to accept morning stiffness, cloudy, sluggish thinking, or relentless daytime fatigue as your permanent, unavoidable reality, because you now have the scientific knowledge to unlock your body's deepest restorative potential. I know firsthand that dealing with daily, grinding aches can easily make you feel like your own body is betraying you. But I promise you, it is simply waiting patiently for the right hormonal signal from you to start healing. Your precious independence, your daily vitality, and your overall joy in these wonderful years are deeply, intrinsically connected to these quiet, unseen, nightly processes. Now, I have a very important question for you to answer down below. Which of these healthy, science-backed nighttime swaps are you going to try tonight? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And while you are there, please like this video and subscribe to the channel because your long-term health is absolutely worth fighting for. Keep making those small, positive, empowering changes every single day. And always remember, tomorrow's vibrant energy is built tonight.